What's up everyone, TheGame2k2 here again for another movie review, and today I'm continuing my review of the Halloween franchise with Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. After Halloween 3 made an attempt to continue the series without the character of Michael Myers, it was pretty obvious that fans were not impressed. Halloween 3 not only proved to be a critical failure, but also a financial disappointment. Producers then decided to bring back Michael Myers for another sequel to make up for their mistake, and so we got Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. The story takes place 10 years after the events of the first two Halloween films. Michael Myers wakes up after being in a coma for 10 years and escapes from an ambulance while being transferred back to Smiths Grove Hospital. However, before he escapes, he hears that he has a niece in Haddonfield, and he goes back to Haddonfield to hunt her down. His niece is a little girl named Jamie Lloyd. Her mother, Laurie Strode, has actually died, and she is adopted by a family. We then see Dr. Loomis find out about Michael Myers' escape, and he goes looking for him. He finds Michael at a gas station, but he escapes again. Loomis then goes back to Haddonfield and tells the sheriff that he's come back looking for Jamie. Jamie is actually trick-or-treating with her older stepsister Rachel, who is babysitting her. After Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Meeker find them, they take them back to the sheriff's home. However, Michael shows up and wreaks havoc trying to get to Jamie. The story isn't spectacular, but it isn't terrible either. To be honest, it took me a while to get used to the Jamie character. To go from Michael chasing teenagers to chasing a child seemed a bit odd. However, I do like how they made the story simple and to the point. Halloween 2 got a little confusing on a few occasions, but Halloween 4 keeps it pretty basic. However, the ending to Halloween 4 is one of the best endings I've ever seen to a horror film. With that being said, there are still elements of the story that don't get explained very well. Laurie's death wasn't explained much at all. I know they had to write it that way because they couldn't afford to bring Jamie Lee Curtis back, but they only give a good 5 seconds of explanation on her death, which I don't think worked very well. I'm also still a little curious in how Dr. Loomis survived in Halloween 2. He was in that fire for quite a while in Halloween 2, so it would seem unlikely that he would survive. However, when it comes to horror sequels, explanation on things is hard to come by, so it's not surprising that Halloween 4 just glances over some of these things. The character development for Halloween 4 is pretty good overall. We get to know the characters of Jamie and Rachel very well. I love the advancements made in Dr. Loomis's character. He is more determined and is a really obsessed character now when it comes to hunting down Michael Myers, which I thought was a really good idea. Then there are the usual characters that aren't very well developed. Sheriff Meeker doesn't quite have the development that Sheriff Brackett had in Halloween 1. The character of Brady is okay in the development department, but the character of Kelly is not very well developed at all. They try to put a love triangle between Rachel, Brady, and Kelly, but that seems more forced in and isn't very subtle. The returning character that sees the most change is Michael Myers. Halloween 4 has a more supernatural feel to it when compared to Halloween 1 because of the changes made to the Myers character. He's given special powers now, like super strength. They tried this a little bit in Halloween 2. You saw him lift a nurse up with one hand, and when he walks through a glass door, it breaks as he touches it. In Halloween 4, he's throwing people long distances, he's stabbing people with guns, and he's crushing people's heads. It's a complete polar opposite of what Michael Myers was in Halloween 1, but it's also pretty cool as well. The acting is actually very good in Halloween 4. Danielle Harris surprised me with her performance because she was just phenomenal. It's very rare that a child is put into the role of the main protagonist in a horror film, and she pulls it off very well. Donald Pleasence is simply awesome as Dr. Loomis. He is just so powerful in that role. Ellie Cornell as Rachel is also very good. Buse Starr as Sheriff Meeker is very good as well, and works well with Donald Pleasence. Sasha Jensen as Brady is a good performance, and Kathleen Kinmont as Kelly is not good at all. Then of course we have the man behind the mask playing Michael Myers. George P. Wilbur plays Myers this time around, and it's pretty much Frankenstein in a white mask. As if the character couldn't get any more robotic than it was in Halloween 2, Wilbur takes it to the next level. However, I don't know about everyone else, but I thought the mask for this movie was the most creepy. It's even whiter than the previous mask. It has black eyes and has the creepiest smile. Overall, Halloween 4 is a very satisfying sequel. I like how they kept it simple and to the point. It does have its occasional flaws with the story, but that's pretty well expected when it comes to horror sequels. Well, everyone, that's it for now. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.